What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me turn on my docs over here and where's my shop was setting. Tools. That's YouTube control panel. There you go. Yeah, I see it now. Share. Docs. Chat. There you go. Chat. Here we go. Chat. What's up guys? What's up? How are you guys doing? We're gonna be... Let me just set it up so we can finally start. Okay. Okay. So for today, we'll be doing... Turn off the music a bit. There you go. Yeah, so we'll be continuing where we left off, right? We have this animatic that we've been watching, and basically what we'll be doing today is to create a layout, right? Where we have three cuts. This cut over here with Barrett, you see the background that we have right now, we have that, then we have this background as well with cloud landing right that, and then this cut over here of the zoom version of him, and that's it, right? So we have technically three cuts with two backgrounds, because this one would have the same background as this one, right? So now let's proceed with going on our Clip Studio Paint, right? And before we actually do that, right, on this cut over here in Storyboard Pro, you would exactly know, you just select all of this one, and then you can check how many frames or duration do you have. Like for here, we have 3 minutes and 3 seconds and 12 frames, right? The next one would have 3 seconds. I already checked earlier. 3 seconds. And then this one is 3 seconds as well. So 72 frames. The other one has 84 frames. And then the last cut has basically 45 frames or something like that. So anyway, that's the goal. Will be, so once we have that information, right, over here in our Clip Studio Paint file, we basically put that in, right? So um, when we create our folder over here, we have exactly, we can type in over here the information. We can also lock that one down. Our template would have yeah, okay. Not comfortable with that one being there, but yeah. So what's up, guys? No one's like messaging yet, but I see you. Anyway, I'm gonna bring in my file over here. So we have, what did I say? 3 minutes. Actually, we're gonna save this one over here. I'm gonna put that in. Put three. I wanna see it. 3:12. Right? Cut one. Scene one. Hi, Iran Robertson. How are you? How are you? Final F, like, we're gonna take a shortcut for this one. FF7 anime. So this, obviously you have to fill this up so that you know, when you're working as a professional animator, key animator, these are very important. You need to know which cut, which scene, how many time frame, and then what's the title of the thing, right? Episode what? This is probably where the episode is, so we just put one over there. Um, yeah, so right now we're doing this, right? And again, just for those who are just chiming in, we're doing a um we're doing this cut over here, this very first cut by Barrett, right? So we have a very um cool, like, a 1 point perspective that has a vanishing point somewhere over here, right? So right now I'm gonna do a background, right? I'm gonna do backgrounds right now, and I have references which you can probably see right here, right? I have references that shows you, shows the train that I want to draw, um, kind of like I kind of want to make sure that I have that information, right? Like, I have references, and this is what the aesthetic that I'm going for. This is the background that I want to work for, right? Um, so just want to but the train, I want to kind of change that up because the perspective over here is a little bit different. So I want to kind of change the train like in like this one, and then add like something like this over here, so it's a much more, so I'm probably gonna trace it, right? I'm gonna trace that train, because I'm not really, I don't know how to draw trains manually, but we're gonna be doing 1 point perspective. So let me figure that one out from Clip Studio Paint right now. um, so normally you go to this one, and then you get I have a printed or downloaded material over here. um, So the material that I'm working with is actually like a very cool um, perspective grid, right? Let me just find that one. It's been a while. This one, Top Gene Grid Asset, right? Um, I think this is the one that's used for perspective. So you gotta just bring that in over here, right? So this perspective ruler, or like perspective um, material, right, uh, is very helpful. So again, I'm gonna bring my references in front of me, so like we basically just use our top gene. I can like top gene grid asset. So that's the perspective ruler that I just do, because now all I have to do is to do that. You know, like I have all of these lines already created for me, and with the use of my operation tool, like I could just create, like it's already created, so I don't have to do this manually. I just have to follow this ruler. And no, I didn't make this asset, bro. Like it's actually like for free. It's called top gene grid asset. Let me show you. Top gene grid asset on Clip Studio Paint. So yeah, so you just basically do like import that, and then with the use of your grid with the use of your operation tool, which is this one, you can just manipulate that to make sure you get what you want, right? So yeah, let's yeah, for sure, man. Like I mean, I got it for free, man. So like, well, like of course, man. Like if I create an asset for you guys, I'll definitely give you access to that asset. Whatever I show on the screen, like you will get it. Like, but obviously this one I didn't create myself. I've been using it before, so you get that top grid asset. I'm afraid to actually provide this as a link and create the material for it, because I don't want you getting it from me. I want you to get it from the actual store to support the creator of this asset. You know what I mean? So I would definitely do that. Like maybe I'll send the link. Does the asset work? Unfortunately, no. It would only work. I think personally, I think it would only work for Clip Studio Paint, because the Clip Studio Paint store has some assets on it, right? So you have to use Clip Studio Paint, unfortunately, right? So yeah, you don't have to create these grid lines, you know. So I can even turn like it creates its own layer over here. So like I can just grab the layer somewhere at the bottom over here, and then like once I have let's say let me lock that one out. I want to start with the background over here. I want to start here, right? So I want to start creating my background. So you see, you can be like if you yeah, what up, Elysion? Yeah. So if you miss it, I basically imported a material in Clip Studio Paint called Top Gene Grid Asset, right? And that brings up this very cool tool, like that you can manipulate for your perspective needs, right? You see, very cool. Now yeah, okay. So just wanna make sure I have the perspective that I want, right? Somewhere like that. Lower third. You see, this is also the reason why I have this very kind of like quirky. I don't want to say it's quirky, but this grid over here that I use, right? This template that I use that has like this third, because I am able to see where the center line is and all that stuff. So that's just my personal preference. So now we can proceed of like actually doing kind of like work. Let me adjust the thing, because like I still kind of want to make sure that I have a little bit of perspective more kind of like here. Like I want to show something here. Let me just adjust that. See, the cool thing about this one is that you don't have to create those lines and then later on change your change your mind, right? Now I just have to move it, um like so I don't have to decide on it right away, right? So now I'm decided on this. I'm gonna lock that perspective ruler up, and then now I'm gonna do the thing. I'm not gonna use like a ruler or something like that. I'm just gonna use in a straight old lines to draw my to guide myself, right? I just have to make sure I'm drawing it from from this line, right? So my ground, I want my ground to be somewhere over here. And then from there I'm gonna draw this line. You guys play Final Fantasy 7 or what? What's your deal with this game? What is your relationship with the game that I'm trying to animate? Are you guys fan of it? Are you guys don't care about it? Like do you play it ever? I don't know. Like, do you guys think about it? See, this line's even like skewed. So it probably helped me if I actually draw the line all the way over there. And then just erase, right? Yeah, PS1. Yeah, that like PS1 game was my jam for it. And now there's a lot more into it. So very cool to see like how it evolved basically, like the new games and all that stuff. So by the way, the layout that I'm doing right now is will be very very rough, right? Somebody else I will hire to actually paint this background. So I will have to rely on him to make this painting over here to make it happen and make it look good. Um, this is a very very rough version of the background of the scene. Oh yeah, you played the remake, Iren. Yeah, yeah, remake was great, man. I played it too, but it's been a while, so I have to kind of refresh my memory about it. Um, how do you like it? I want to draw like the basic first. I guess this is the platform and all that stuff, right? But now I kind of want to make sure. Oh shoot, what did I do? Now I'm kind of adding details over here freehand wise. Because it's a lot easier for me to freehand it personally, right? Do whatever you want on your own process. I think there's a little bit more charm when you're doing it freehand. Nice. See, we're drawing this layout over here, but we're not even sure what we're gonna be showing. All I know is that I'm using the whole canvas right now, to make sure that I get whatever I need to get, right? Um, Forgive me if my song is a little bit repetitive, like, just wanna hype myself up. There's a gate over here. Something like that. And then you see, I think we can make the wall here big. Yeah, I think that perspective works. Gonna want to draw like freehand art over here. Obviously, you have like something like that. I don't want to make it too complicated for my background artist. I just want something that works, you know. And then we're gonna try to draw this train over here. Copy. You see, perspective works, man. The same position. If I turn off the perspective grid, the grid works over here. No, my reference. The grid works for my reference. You know, we might need to adjust this a bit, but you know what I mean. It works, man. So my plan is to actually multiply this one. You know, thank you for the love. Thank you for the reacts. You know, like that's amazing. You know, you can, but if it doesn't work, then you can just adjust it, right? So right now we're gonna trace the train over here. I'm not gonna put a lot of details, but you know what I mean. Again, I just want to make sure that the person who's doing my backgrounds would have something to go for, right? To start with. So I'm gonna have to rely on him on the details and whatnot. Yeah, we're drawing James. We're drawing background for layout. We're doing layout, right? And layout involves drawing backgrounds. I don't know how to draw backgrounds, bro. Like I trace, I do whatever. Like I use tools, all that stuff. I cheat my way into drawing backgrounds. I want to animate as soon as possible. I don't want to be drawing backgrounds right here, bro. But we have to. We're gonna just say that's a double engine right here. Right. Again, somebody else would paint this for me. I have to work my full-time job to be able to pay an artist to see work. I work. I try to earn as much money as I could in my full-time job, save a little bit of money, and then fund these projects of mine. Cause like for me, like it's like I'm very passionate about animation, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. But for me, I want to focus on something that I really want to. I don't want to actually do everything like some people who starting in animation does. And with all due respect to them, right? But I can see that they're more doing that either for content or for something else. I want to focus on animation. I want to focus on one thing. I want to focus on directing as well. Um, I kind of know. I kind of want to know a little bit of everything. But I'm definitely not gonna be trying to be an expert drawing backgrounds. For example, I'm not like somebody else could do that better than I do, and I'd rather pay that somebody else. You know. So that's my principles for it. Drawing practice. No, I don't draw with the mouse, bro. Like you're crazy if you think I'm drawing but with mouse, man. I don't draw with mouse, man. I don't practice. Believe it or not. I don't practice. Like I just do projects. Like I rather work on my projects, right? I should be practicing though. I'm not saying you shouldn't practice, but I don't have the time to spend for practicing, so I just make sure I do some projects. Um, so this is a project where I'm gonna apply everything I'm learning, um, and then kind of like active practice, I would say, right? Because like motivation is fleeting, like I tried doing a challenge where I would draw and like 10 figures a day or something, but that's fleeting, man. I don't know if my I don't know if Shovel will understand this background, but yeah, yeah, just do your projects, bro. Like 100%. I mean, it works. Why wouldn't it work if you make it work, right? Like, I don't practice at all, bro. I'm sorry if that disappoints you. I'm sorry if like that's not, you know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn that off. You see, we have some sort of a resemblance, and because I drew that in kind of like a layer, I can make that small over here, kind of like put that like that, and then I can make sure that and now over here we have some like a huge blank space. What we'll probably do is again we're gonna try to let's see. It's like it looks like empty, right? So in reality it's not empty. Spirit, I mean the process you learned how to draw before. The process I learned how to draw before. That's a very good question. What did I do to learn? Bro, I took a lot of courses, man. Yeah, I took a lot of courses, and I know it's not for everyone. Like I know not everyone has some like budget or whatever, but learning from a professional who does the thing like that, like that's a shortcut to success. That's a shortcut to getting better, in my opinion, right? Um, like you can spend a lot of time trying to figure it out on your own, but for me, like I don't have that time because again I'm working full time job. Then see even this perspective works, man. Holy crap, I'm good at yeah the perspective works on here. No, it's not. Actually, it's not. So we can adjust this perspective over here to make sure that we have it following. And what I'm doing right here, guys, is that I'm using references to trace it. Uh, like some people may frown upon what I'm doing because they're thinking that oh why is he tracing like but man like I'm a one man studio So like I'll do whatever I can to finish a project. You know, again, I'm not a background artist, right? So I'm gonna utilize everything that I can to make sure that I do what I wanna do, which is animation, right? Na focus on animating. So once I have that, we can make that bigger, and then we can basically say that actually we don't need that. If we're gonna just continue it, I have to create another layer over here. We're just using that as a reference. We're not even tracing anymore. We're just gonna be using that as a reference. Yeah, well, let's turn on our line over here. Yeah. Will you render the background straight? I'm gonna do straight up animating. I'm not rendering the background. Like I said earlier, somebody else would be doing it. You know, somebody else. My friend is actually like I've been kind of like whenever I need background services, I have a guy, you know, who does it for me. Um, I obviously pay him, you know, so yeah, he's gonna figure out how this thing works though. So, but I have a really good base here. If I turn this off, I turn off the like. I think I have a really good base here. Um, now I kind of wanna just make sure that okay. Yeah, there you go. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there you go. You can probably tell about my like how I'm not really a background artist on the way I'm drawing. Well, most people may say that oh, it's not bad at all. Yeah, sure. Um, but you know what I often do is kind of like have some sort of lasso fill tool. Where's my lasso fill tool? Lasso fill, and then some kind of like I think the train would benefit from right, and then maybe we can turn opacity up like that, and then maybe do that. So that we have a little bit of kind of like shading happening. Right, so something to just kind of like make it look a little bit presentable, you know. Like I'm just guessing over here. You don't even have to kind of like follow along on what I'm doing. Again, this is just for me and my um, background artist to basically have a sense of what's going on with the background, right? We can okay, I think we're good. This is a good background for me. I'm gonna turn this off because it's distracting me, right? Now I have a good background over here, guys, and I'm gonna put that as in a folder and name that BG. Good morning, Avinash. And then we're gonna just opacity 50 or 50, I guess, or 25 at 30. Actually 35. No, 50. Sorry, sometimes I'm undecided, so forgive me if I'm being undecided right now. So I'm gonna lock my background, right? Actually, before I lock my background, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this on, lock that one, and then my folder that contains the BG would be, so I could adjust it, you know, and still lock it. So anyway, now this is the background, right? So it spend me 40 minutes to do a very rough layout. What we're doing, guys, is layout, by the way. And I know I kind of like went really rough with the background, but this is a good layout at this point because what we're trying to do is this over here. So this is my storyboard, and we were doing this cut over here. Right? So now let's go back to the thing. We now have like a very rough like we now have a very rough layout of the background, and now we're gonna proceed with animating the rough for the character. But before we do that, let me save first 16, yeah, 16 01 clip. For me, one cut, one file. That's the rule, right? One cut, one file. Like I know I have like this is a different software, right, that contains all of my storyboards, right? This is one cut. This is another cut, right? And then this is another cut. That's why I use Storyboard Pro for this one. But when I'm actually doing the animation, I'm doing one cut, one file. So this is gonna be one file in Clip Studio Paint. And it contains basically it has a length of 3 seconds and 12 frames, which is, you can see right here in my animation, this length right here is 3 seconds and 12 frames, which puts me at 85, right? Or 84 if you start with 0 or 1, that depends on you. Now, before I'm actually gonna animate, I'm gonna bring out my character design like this, right? I'm gonna actually copy Barret over somewhere. Where's my Barret? Over here. I copy Barret over here, turn this off, and then move Barret somewhere here, because I kind of want to know where he is in the space, right? Like, because I can copy him right over here. Let's copy him over here. Yeah, so he looks very big compared to the thing, right? So we need to know, like, where does he stands. Is he standing here and then our camera is there? Is he, like, how big he is in the frame, right? So we can increase that obviously and then frame him. And the reason why we're doing that is for the layout, right? That's why I have a character design sheet like this, so that I know exactly how, like, where he is. I can make him stand right here and it still looks okay, right? He still looks in proportion relative to the space that where he is, right? Which is very, very, very important. You know, like, if you place him here, he looks very small compared to this one because he's probably dug underground. But you cannot place him over here and have him like stand over here because he's too tall, right? But it's relative, right? So if he's standing right here, he's probably have the same height. Like, he's probably right. What I'm trying to say is that this is probably his size, right? His actual size compared to the train. If he's standing right here, right? Apply the transformation. If he's standing right here, sorry for my misstep, that means he is standing at this position, and then this is his height, right? And that height is right here, meaning, like, relative to the train over here, he's still kind of like shorter than the train, right? Toon Boom Storyboard Pro, how much I paid the, like, 70% of the total price for Storyboard Pro because I bought it during Black Friday sale. I don't know, like, I think I it pays for itself because I use that software for work, like for commission work. Like, I have a commission, weekly commission to another YouTube channel, and that's my main software of choice. I'm getting paid to do those commissions, and then in return, I'm basically, like, it pays for itself already, right? Like, I have to work like probably a month or so to pay that off, but the rest is profit, right? So, but yeah, this is his relative height, right? Which means if he steps on the train around this area over here, he will still be able to fit in the train. You know what I mean? So you need to know the height of your character relative. He may be even a little bit bigger if you place him here, right? In reality, he may even be this short in, like, when he's standing right here. But if he's standing over here, he cannot stand over here. He needs to be this small when he's right here, right? So that is why you need to know your perspective, how relative it works, all that stuff needs to be figured out, right? So, but what I'm saying in this case is that I'm gonna shoot for him being standing somewhere over here, almost close to the camera. Relative to this one, he's probably standing somewhere right here, and relative to this space over here is still shorter. So I'm fine with that. So it makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, no, I'm talking too much right now, but is what it is, bruh. It is what it is. So we're doing layouts, right? I'm really happy with this one. So now, again, we're gonna turn off Barrett over here. I'm gonna now figure out his proportions, right? Proportions meaning his shape. So I'm gonna turn this off, like going there, and I'm just gonna trace him. I love tracing, guys. And I'm gonna use like a bigger brush, as I do that for my roughs, right? I have this. The shape of the head is like this. This is exactly how I work on this rough sketch over here. This animation, this rough sketch of the character design, is I started with this shape, right? And let me promote my freaking membership right now. You guys are here. Don't mind me if I'm promoting my membership, guys, because I'm posting like whatever I don't show on stream. I am still working on the side, so I show like a time-lapse video of those things. So if you want to catch that one, the ones that I don't show for stream, you might want to do a membership. It's up to you. You don't have to, again, like, but it does help the channel to grow. You know, like, I appreciate people like would be part of the Doga Fighters, and I provide a lot of like bonus content on my Patreon and over here. So don't mind me. Like, I have to do what I gotta do, you know. So memberships, kind of like links to share, intro, invite viewers to join your channel. Okay. Okay. You know, we're gonna do what we gotta do, guys. Sorry if I have to kind of like plug myself in over there, but your boy gotta make money. It's not running a personal animation studio in my bedroom, needing to pay people to do my backgrounds, are kind of like it takes time, you know. It takes time and resources. So I hope you guys don't mind. Sorry. Let me just put that in. So let me content. Let me go back to my live over here. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. Pure F. There you go. So let's go back to this one. So what I'm doing here is like I'm trying to figure out his proportions, so I know how to draw his figure, right? And this is just the basic shapes, right? I'm not really trying to this is what you call shorthand drawing, right? This is what you call shorthand drawing, and knowing how to draw your character in a shorthand kind of way um, will help you be able to draw them faster during the animation procedure, right? So for me, it's like this, right? Yeah, we're not draw. By the way, for this one, you'll probably be you'll probably think that, oh, why are you drawing the pants in that shape? Maybe his legs are kind of like really big, but it's probably should be going right here, right? But no, you can't do that because the shape of the character and the shape of the character relies on what you see those shapes are, right? So you need to be able to draw those shapes properly, right? Maybe I can even argue that he has like this one, right? So overall silhouette of the shape um is very important, right? Um I can even draw the details right now like that, right? I can even try to um do that for my roughs, right? And have this detail, the hair, right? And then I can split that. Again, this is very fast version of your character. It shouldn't, yeah, you have to kind of like just simplify the shapes but still keep the proportions, right? So now you have a shorthand like that. That's how I would draw Barret, this character. And the thing is, most of the time, if you're working for a studio, man, like if you're working for a studio, you won't need to design your own characters, but you need to figure out how to draw that character. You know what I mean? So like, if you're doing a fan animation, one very powerful resource that I go to, like for fan animation, right, is SatayDreams.net. I show you. I always show this on stream. Um, so SatayDreams.net, right, it has storyboards. It has Satay is your character design sheets, right? So, um, what really happens over here is that, oh, you have this. You can search like your favorite anime, I guess. Like I really like the character designs in Boruto, right? Um, or okay, you even have One Piece over here, right? So the character designs in Boruto is like really solid, right? Like I know nobody wants the anime, right? It's nobody likes it. I know that, but like their character designs are very solid. You know, you have all of this information right here, um, and their character design is very simplified. You know, like it's solid, it's simplified. Like you know, you even have the details of the eyes right here for close-up purposes, right? You like you know they you can use this resource if you want to do a fan animation, and now you can just trace on it, right? You can trace on it. You have like One Piece season 2. You have all of this kind of like, oh, this was very rough on how they drew these characters. This is even what I would call my shorthand, right? These very rough sketches, that's the shorthand for these characters, right? This is how they would draw it before. So I'm like, what's the clean version? Let's see the clean version. This is kind of like the clean version of that. So, you know, like it's very cool to have all of this information in. You know, like this is the clean version. You see, but you can see the how goofy the character designs are. So very powerful resource. So kind of super recommend this one. If you're doing a fan animation based from an anime, you see, you can understand the relationship between the hands, how big is the hands in front of the face and whatnot, so you won't miss that thing. And obviously, you have your own way if you have your own character design. And again, I made this on my own yesterday, so I know how to draw this character supposedly, right? I have to. Kind of like the brief method over here. I don't even have to. Okay, so that's that, right? Now let's draw him in the scene, right? Like actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this into my pure ref, like how like I'm gonna put this into my pure ref, because I already created that. That's a good reference, you know. Now we are starting to animate. We're gonna start animating right now, and we just have to keep our proportions right. This is what I see on the other screen, by the way. I put that on pure ref, right? So I have my other screen with that information, right? Let me just drink some quick water while I play the Storyboard Pro. Yeah, I'm running out of saliva from talking too much. Okay, I'm back. So, it's yeah, we're gonna now draw him. Like I said, we're probably gonna draw him with like half body, like the scene, or like my what do you call this, my storyboard, right? Okay. We have some viewers over here, but you guys seem quiet. You guys working on your own projects? I have to do a backdrop over here. he be centered or off centered? I feel like the off center. We're practicing animation. Nice, Iron. Very, very cool if you guys are working alongside with me. That's why I always encourage people to actually just work beside me, you know. Feel like the head is a little bit too big. Yeah, I think that's it. We're picking trying to see my how many frames do I have on this one. I have 12 frames, and then this is 9 9 9 9 15 9 9 15. I'm trying to, because I already set up the motion in so I have this frame number over here, so I'm kind of like trying to, oh, how many keyframes am I gonna do for this one. So I may need a keyframe over here, right? Oh wait, was that 12? No, that's a second. Yeah, that's 1 second, so I have to set the frame. Okay, I have to set the frame over here. doing a turnaround, which is always kind of like a challenge. Oh, we're okay. Forgot to set the monetization. Yo, what's up, Biku Talks? This is a slow down. His body is like fully turned around at this point, right? What do I think about Open Tunes? Uh, it's good because it's free. I mean, like I cannot complain anything that's for free, you know. Like, but I haven't personally tried it, bro. So I don't know anything about it aside from what you might probably see in the internet already. So I think um, there are videos exclusively talking about how to animate in Open Tunes. So I would check those videos out because I haven't tried it. Maybe I'll create a video in the future trying it out or something, kind of like naming it. Oh, like I tried the free softwares and all that stuff. So how did I start as a beginner? You guys want to see my first animations again? I showed it on stream before, or I did not. Uh, Portions are not. I started doing memes. I started drawing memes, bro. My mistake. I started working. Like I've always wanted to kind of like animate, like in YouTube, right? So I started like if you see my channel, um, so very good questions though. Where's my This is my original channel, by the way. Right? This is my original channel, RJ Animations. You see my content over here. If you see filter date, I made all of this as a beginner. I made all of these animations or like tutorials. You see my face over here. So I'm just trying to figure it out before, right? I have a few videos talking about, yeah, so I think I started doing this animation frame by frame breakdown, the hammer swing, all of that stuff. So I don't know, I started doing all of this stuff, and then I did shorts to test my skills as a animator. So from here, you see all of this one, don't mess with. This is my kind of like very first animation. Like this animation over here, I started.
That's what you get for turning off my cocoa melon.
Yeah, basically that's. Yeah, so I did that very quickly to see if I could animate in a day, and I basically animated a day, like one meme a day for 30 days to see if I could actually do the work. So you see over here, I have this one as well.
You need to stop thinking like that. You need to stop thinking that you're ugly. You are, but stop thinking about it. It's okay. You need to stop thinking that you're ugly. You are, but stop thinking about it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like memes. So I did that. That's my beginner. Obviously, beginner mistake is like thinking that this would go viral, and some of it did, but then after a while, after doing all of this stuff, right, like all of these memes, I animated even kind of like memes of chibi characters and all that stuff. So at some point I realized, after doing this for 30 days, at some point I realized, oh, I should be doing what I like doing. So I animated like my, you see over here, these are still memes, but because I stopped doing it every day, like I have more time to actually make sure that the quality is up. So these are still memes, but the quality is up at this point. You see what I mean? So that's just, so my style developed as soon as I gave myself permission to give more time to the animation, right? Eventually I led to this style, like I like this is the style of my animation after 3 months. I know it's a bit cringy, but those are the memes back then, you know. So yeah, um, and then I had this video pop off. How many views did this get? It got 28 million views, guys. 28 million views for that one video, right? It went viral. You guys probably see. So yeah, I did this in 3 days. Full colored and all that stuff. So I managed to just get lucky, you know, for this one. Yeah, but this is like, And then eventually, after I went viral on this one, a year after, I started making animation, that's not memes anymore, right? I started working on my projects like this. What do you call this? I started working on like parodies, like actual stories, right? So this one is my animation for Mr. Beast. You probably have seen this already. So all of this one was done by me. The background, I think it was a 3D background, and then I painted over it. So yeah, like that's my journey as an animator, right? Like I've made a lot of progress in terms of style. So now I'm just doing the like I'm just leveling up my skills, right? So yeah, that's it, man. It's yeah. Okay, let's continue animating Barret right now. You see, this is where I'm putting his kind of like middle of the body, right? This the crotch over here. But when I turn around over here, my crotch became over here. So that means I'm off. This is the importance of like trying to make sure you are still in model. Maybe the arms are a little bit too big now, you know. You gotta make that adjustment. But because you're only doing this like very rough, you can make those adjustments very quickly. Imagine if you're actually trying to capture the character and then your proportions are off. Like that's gonna be a disaster, you know? Like you're gonna repeat a lot of work that could have been prevented. So this is the reason why I rough it out and I try to make sure that I practice the character like rough really good. No, kumain na ako. That's me speaking in Filipino language. I said I already ate. My parents were asking me if I want to eat already. Again, this is rough, right? So like we'll still improve our animation later on. And this is just part of the layout process, right? When you're doing a layout like this, it's very important that you are at least able to capture the movement. And this is just a very quick turnaround, you know. We can even slow down the turnaround over here and then right. To make it more dramatic. And then right here, that's basically when he's gonna say, come down here, Merc. Come down here, Merc. Come down here, Merc. Yeah. Come down here, Merc. This is the, at this point, that's when he's gonna say, come down here, Merc. Again, it's very rough. Still don't know how to. I actually don't know how to do the side of his thing. Obviously, when he raises his arms like that, the clothes will get raised, right? the hands are too big, we adjust. Hey, what's up, bro? Maxi Plays. What's happening with you guys? This roughs, by the way, is very rough. Like if you're working in the industry, this may still need to be a little bit more clean. But like I said, like I'm not working in the industry, so like I kind of just make sure that I capture the general idea of the post. Um, we I'm not in model yet. The character is not in model yet, but at least it shows the rough proportions of the character, right? So here's a technique when like with people, right? Um, so if you want it to be the same pose, you just trace the outline, and then it's just the arm that's gonna move, right? Obviously, this is just to show that oh, it's almost the same pose, so it's just gonna be an outline, right? A very quick outline, right? That, and then the only thing that's gonna change are the arms, right? So you have to kind of like adjust that. Suggest the you increase my audio. It's always like I've got a question. What's your question, Maxi Plays? This is the most volume I could see, like I could do for my audio. By the way, it is max volume, and anything that's beyond that will is gonna be overread on the thing. So really don't want to do that. But is that the question or? So it's just right now I'm just doing this rough, right? Because it's gonna be the same pose, but the arms, right? Is gonna be the different pose. Right? Then maybe we could adjust it a little like that. But that's just enough. Like I wanna be like me. The hope, yeah, like the process of being an animator, like whole process. How can I become an animator? Like study the basics, basically, By the way, for like I know I'm plugging myself right now for those who wants to, like, I'm actually gonna try to create a course step by step on how to animate, right? And it's always gonna be a project based. So if you wanna start animating, go to my YouTube channel and start binging or like watching all the content I produce. Like, I know that may sound like I'm plugging myself, but if you're a beginner, I have beginner friendly animation tutorials over there. So you start in that sense. Or if you don't want it to be me, if you don't like the way I'm teaching, you can find someone who's like trying to teach as well, right? And then use their content to learn as much as you can from YouTube, and then apply what they're teaching in your animations, right? First of all, you need to spend a lot of time drawing, right? Like, I did my juice. Like, I've shown people over here in this channel earlier where I started. I literally started um working on animations that are um like that look shit, you know? But I did that for 30 days. I allowed myself to be shit and to have ugly animations in 30 days. But I did it. I animated something for 30 days. And then after 30 days, I gave myself a little bit more time to learn more, and then I applied that and then did more content using animation, right? So this is going to be our rough now, right? Maybe we're holding this one right here. I'm adjusting it a little bit. The timing, I may adjust the timing, but like, I'm trying to figure out a more dramatic timing, to be honest. It feels that this is where I'm at right now. Yeah, I think that's the dramatic timing I want. Yeah, every frame. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like, you want to see my reference? My reference is this. You see every frame by frame. Frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, frame 5. I have I have 6 frames, but that's my timing, right? So maybe I'll add like a frame over here between this one and this one, like right in the middle. Right in the middle, right here. I mean, by animating by watching references. Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, if you're a beginner animation, you should watch references and then copying all of that stuff. Like, you're no one's like if you're a beginner, man. Like how can I add colors to my characters? Again, I have tutorials, bro, on how to do that. So just I can't answer all of it because I'm doing something different right now, man. Sorry. Yeah, I'm adding 2 more frames after this one. So this is when my animation starts. Right? Hola Constantinus, how are you, bro? We're actually animating right now. And okay, so part one of doing a layout, right? Part one of doing a layout are the backgrounds, right? This is the background that we did earlier, right? That's the background we did earlier. It's not the best, but again, I'm not the one who's gonna paint this background. Someone else would do it for me. So basically, I'm just gonna make sure that this background goes to someone, you know. So, and after the background, right? We turn that off. We turn off the opacity a bit, and then we add the rough. We add the rough. I think this is a little bit funky. Yeah, I'm still like even though I'm already deep into the rough animation process, I'm still adjusting, you know. From here to here I need a frame right here in the middle, or like I need to connect these 2 frames with like, yeah, I need to connect that better. I don't know. 3 frames, 2 frames would be enough to connect it better. So it's gonna be on thirds, right? This is one swift movement, so the timing charts for this one is that from here to here, there's not much. There's no timing charts for this one. From here to here, there's gonna be the timing over here is like this, thirds. It will be a constant thirds, right? There's 2 in-betweens over here, and then, sorry, not this one, this one, and then there's gonna be the same thing over here, right? And then from here to here, it's very slow too. So this one would have halves, right? Oh. Funko Land. Instead of Cloud, imagine it's an actual clown and spoiled protagonist. Crazy, man. You're tripping, bro. And then he's gonna settle here, and then the movement over here, I'm gonna kind of like hold this frame for like, I don't know, like maybe I'm gonna hold this frame for for 9 frames. 9 frame hold. Before he basically do this, and now you have like another thirds, and then this one is gonna be settling at, yeah, it's gonna be settling like that, half, thirds. That's my timing charts, right? Thirds, yeah. Okay, give me a second, guys. I have to call my girlfriend a bit. So I'm gonna rest. Rubber sock. You're funny, bro. You are funny, man. Let me, like, I have to say goodnight to my girlfriend first. She's sleeping. Need to. Even though I'm grinding, I have to take care of my personal life. Who the F is Fabio, bro? You're tripping, man. Anyway, we're not done yet with the layout, right? We're not done with the layout yet, right? Because now, we have this, right? We have that. Now we have to add the camera movement, right? The camera movement is an important aspect of the layout. So again, let's go back to this one. Maybe what I'll do is I'll turn this off, So, quick lesson, layout, right, is number 1, big background sketch, right? Number 2, rough animation, which we just did. And then number 3 is camera movement. Laura Croft. Constantinus, you're tripping, bro. You have like I don't get what you're it's like it's crazy, man. Anyway, so that's the layout. And now we're gonna do the camera movement, right? Let me save this again. I don't wanna lose. So since everything right? All of my animation folder is within a camera over here. I kind of already know how my camera movement is going to be at based on my storyboard, right? The camera movement basically shows that it starts from this point, zooms in a little bit, and then goes here, right? This is the frame, and then it goes like this, right? So we can dramatize that, right, even more with our with this one, right? We can start from here by creating a keyframe over here, and then we're creating a last keyframe over here just to make sure that we have that same size, right? Over here we're gonna increase that from here, not too much though, maybe like at that level of the frame over here, because this dotted lines is what's kind of like allowable before you animate like the camera movement, right? Because anything beyond these lines are kind of like makes it like I wouldn't say anything beyond the big line, right? Over here you can still go beyond, but right now if you go like less than that, you need to probably start to animating the character more close up, right? So I'm gonna do this, like increase that size over there, and then at the end over here I'm gonna do like a zoom in right here, kind of like half a body, and maybe center him like that, right? So now when we play, we have a very quick camera movement. That's the camera movement, right? And it's perfect, man. Like I really love what we were able to work on this one. Again, this is just rough, right? Like from this rough we'll be adding the character soon. Um yeah, maybe what we'll do is I'll add the character on this frame over here, and then maybe on this frame over here or here. So we just have to kind of like, we're not done with the layout yet. Like it looks like we're done, but we're not. So this camera, like I think over here we can add the character over here, right? Just to put it in model, to put the character in model, right? And that's where our reference would shine, right here. Not this reference right here, right? So we're gonna try to draw that right now. Very rough. So what I'll do is I'm gonna kind of like create another animation cell over here. And I'm done with the background right now. I don't need to see it anymore. It's just for me it's kind of like just a reference for me to ground my character. It's very important to ground your character. Meaning grounding means you need to be able to place your character in the background where it makes sense, right? If it makes sense that the character size is like this compared to what's happening in the background, you have a good layout, right? Because what's gonna happen is that what if this character is, you drew this character small like this, right? Then he's too small based on the background, right? And like you wanna put him here, like it doesn't make sense still. Like so I'm putting him here because he's standing somewhere right here, and then the height of the where he's standing comparing to that is basically right here. So he's still like the proper size for it, right? With reference to the background that you have. So right now I'm gonna attempt to draw the like the layout right over here. I'm gonna create um another A over here, which means I want to copy this one, copy, then paste, and then I can do this. Right click over here, edit track, create multiple. There we go. And now again, I don't need the background anymore. I want to make sure that I lock this one. No, I don't lock that one. Like I turn off the opacity a bit, and I'm gonna draw this one right here with the same character model, just having the shades, you know. So I'm just checking some stuff right now, so let me just make sure that I have my character model. Yeah, I think we're gonna end the stream after this one. I'm gonna focus on uh, I don't know if I should give him shades like in the actual reference that we have. Let's see without the shades first. Barret face. Should we give him shades or not? Let's put this frame in a folder and then add some shades, right? And see if that would work, you know? What do you guys think? Shades or no shades? Shades or no shades? I think shades is cooler. We'll leave that one out. We'll make sure that we are What's up, bro? Baba Yaga. Shades, yeah. John Wick spin-off movie. Oh, are you talking about like a new movie? Like an actual new movie? Oh wow. I didn't know that. Would be nice to create a John Wick anime, man. Like an action scene from John Wick. Maybe like once I have like let me see if this idea would work on YouTube, right? Where we take like, because like my idea is like, oh, we're converting a game into an anime, right? That's my video idea right now, right? So like my I don't know if that would work on YouTube or if people wants to see that, right? Um and if they do, then maybe we have something like a series going on over here where we can take like movies, like games and convert those things into anime, right? Um like why not? If we could do that, that would be great. But again, I don't know whether or not people are interested in it on YouTube. All we gotta do is try, right? So like that's where we are right now with this thing. it'll be nice to create little projects here and there, 10 second to 20-second animation of like movies and whatnot, just to challenge ourselves. That's gonna be like something that, oh, no one has ever done before. I'm like, me and my coworker was like, why is there no anime from Final Fantasy 7? Like, people who made this game literally could do it, if they wish to. So I've always been curious why, you know. Yeah, for sure. Like I would love to see like a series like that. On YouTube, right? So again, let's see. Let's finish one step first, and then we'll go from there, right? Yeah, this I was supposed to do the very first scene, first, like Aerith, but then I was like, Aerith is not the main character of the story, so I might as well go with Cloud, so by the way, even though I'm kind of like doing like the character model over here, this is still part of layout. You need to establish a frame where the lighting, like this is where we kind of like figure out, oh, what is the lighting, right? What is the lighting gonna look like? And this is just rough, right? This is just rough of the thing. Final Fantasy is the anime before the storm. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 15 did have an anime. Yeah, it did had an anime. Don't get me wrong, but 7 though haven't. Like I haven't seen 7, and 7 is more popular than 15. You know what I mean? You see, this hand now becomes like a little bit bigger because now I have to put it on model. So like I made the mistake of making the hand a little bit too small over here, but that's fine. Again, we are learning, right? All of this stuff we are applying to these things, right? It's not by a lot, but still, it's gonna change our. which makes sense for me over here. Maybe the biceps are a little bit too big over here. Let's adjust that one, right? Something like that. Because the biceps would contract around this area because his arms are too big, right? I think that's much better. Again, in terms of drawing skills, guys, like you just have to assess your own. Like, I'm not the best in drawing it, but like I just observe what I think is wrong and right. Like, I mean, I'm not the best, right? I'm not the best. Like, some people may find like I have a lot of like, not like, I have some comments who are commenting on, oh, your drawing looks a little bit off here and there, and that's fine, right? Like, I'm still learning. um so like, but the problem, because like what I'm saying is that most of the time when we're working on our own drawings, we forget, um like, we sometimes tend to spend too much time on it, that we're kind of like so used to it in our eyes, we barely see the mistakes anymore. Yes, I did learn anatomy. um like, I learned it from two people, Modern Day James and Steve Ann. Oh shoot, Killer Cam is here, man. Killer Cam in the house. What's up, bro? We did layouts today, man. I just wanna show you, since you're being a great supporter. Let's. So we did. We did this today. Kraus manga last fight animation. Yeah, now you've seen the Killer Cam. You've seen my animatic, right? My storyboard. Now we're doing this. We now started doing the animation for it, which is, this is the first part, which is layout, right? You probably know this already, but just so, like, I want to repeat myself for those who are just kind of like tuning in into the stream, right? We've been doing layout right now. We started with the background, and then we did this with this very rough turnaround, the animation, like mostly keyframes, right? And now we added camera movement, but we're still on, basically, we're still in layout mode when I'm adding the character over here. This one. When I'm adding this character over here, I'm still in layout mode, bro. Because I wanna show at least one frame in kind of like almost Genga, because it's not clean yet, right? This is still considered as a rough, right? At least for me. But again, my roughs can be intimidating because like I don't want to toot my own horn, but like I draw like very once I have like you see the difference between my rough and then my actual rough character. You know what I mean? When I started drawing the character, it can be like, oh, I'm still considering this as rough, but it's more clean. And but because I already drew the character in in his in his mannequin form, which is this one, right? So this is the third time I'm drawing this is the second time I'm drawing the character, so I should be getting used to it. What's more is that you're gonna draw the same character in each pose 4 times. One is this one, and then the second is the rough, right? Um, and then like you do the Genga and then the cleanup. That's 4 times. 4 times of doing the that character rough, right? We're what guys are supping up. We're doing Final Fantasy 7 animation over here. So no, I'm not. And I don't want to take credit from someone else's epic work, bro. No, I'm not. I started doing parodies, I started doing memes. Probably we wouldn't see this thing over here. Probably just this one. Yeah. Yeah, I like that's done. Like I'm not continuing that animation anymore. The ISO speed one is done. I consider that complete. I want to move on to this project of mine is Final Fantasy right now. I want to move on away from doing parodies of certain character like celebrities. I can make Blue Lock fan version maybe in the future, right? But I wanna do my own, like I wanna kinda like Constantinus is creating his own Final Fantasy lore, bro. Like fucking crazy. Like he's literally creating a new Final Fantasy lore for you guys. Yeah, I could create Blue Lock animation, and it seems to be doing well on YouTube. People doing that. I think. Do you know Bunaye? Bunaye did a fan animation of Blue Lock, kind of like his own version of a scene. You know, like I would love to do something like that too, right? Um, but let's do one project at a time, guys. You know, like I'm only one person over here. I love to do more project, but like obviously, we have only so much time in our hands. We cannot even, you know. Air Assassin. I don't know who he is, but someone like I think somebody mentioned that. But man, like again, um, I think somebody mentioned that, to be honest. Yeah, I think I remember someone um doing that fan animation of Blue Lock. Like I stopped reading the manga though, but I'm very interested on making my own version of it in the future. Um, but I've been into games lately. I wanna kind of like, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not opposed to doing that. I'm not. I'm just saying I'm doing kind of like a little bit of something here and there right now. Something different. So I'm very into Final Fantasy games. You know, like I love Blue Lock. Um, but I kind of stopped watching it. Like I haven't watched the whole of season two. Um, I don't know if like I don't know anything about what's happening to the show. I read the manga up until a certain point too, so you know. What do you mean? Here's a sub. Yeah, bro. Like to be honest, Mr. Work, like I'm doing my own thing. Like I have a full time job, so I can't spend a lot of time working for another person's project. I know that may sound like a little selfish right now. I do have the skills and um but I rather do my own thing for now and then maybe think about being a part of a team in the future if I have that time. Right now I don't have that time just because again I am I have a full-time job, man. Like I don't do this full-time, man. Like if I don't do anything else, then maybe I could do that. Like oh, join a project here and there, but like I have responsibilities. Like okay, so I want to make I want to make this clear, right? I have a full-time job plus I have a weekly part-time job or weekly part-time work for another YouTube channel. Those two on top of a Friday class that I host every Friday for another platform which is not YouTube but it's a platform for animators and storyboard artists. I teach every Friday for that and then I'm doing my own YouTube thing. So I have four things I'm juggling every week. Um, so like I cannot be participate. I don't have the time to participate on other people's project to be honest. That just because that's the reality I have right now. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at, man. Like sorry if I know you guys are pushing me to be part of something. Oh, like you can be part of here. Unfortunately, I don't have that capacity in me to be doing anything else rather than my own thing, you know. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm not a shellfish, bro. I'm not a shellfish. I'm a human being. Just kidding, Constantinos. You've been great, but thank you. Uh, Arjun, like, Inozuma 11 still GOAT and Captain Subasha. Still creating respect, dude. Sentence after my respect for you, bros. Yeah, full time job. Yeah, I have a full time job. One or one thing, remember me when you get famous. Yeah, like I'm here. You know, like again, guys. I don't know if like you for those who are new here in this chat, I showed my old channel. This is my old channel, guys. Like um I have this much subscribers. Like I'm not boasting, okay? I'm not boasting, but I have like a big channel that I used to run. Unfortunately, this is not earning much. With this amount, I'm only earning $50 a month from here. Still good, but like, you know, I don't want to say I'm already famous, but I got some stuff that went viral already. But now I created the new channel, which is where you see my stuff right now, right? This is, I started from the, like, I wanted to start from scratch again and do it right, right? So, you're not gonna stop like pitching your idea for a Final Fantasy spin-off, are you, Constantinus? You're not gonna stop from pitching those ideas, eh? The video that would be dedicated for this, by the way, would be posted in a week or so, or like less than um I don't know, like a week. I don't know if I could do this in a week, but let's see, let's see. Yeah, I came from where did I from where do I still pull up the things as we are your students. Yeah. Where did I learn how to animate? I learned how to animate self-taught, bro. Self-taught. And then I took some courses here and there. Um, like I took modern day James course, right? Like I just watch YouTube all the time, right? So we play this through, we'll have this animation, right? And then maybe as part of the rough, right? As part of the rough, we'll have our lighting over here. So let's turn this off a bit. How are we approaching the lighting for here? Let's see the original. I learned how to animate yeah, the original has the lighting going in this direction. In this lighting is supposed to come from this direction, right? So let's do that, you know. So everything is almost black over here. This is completely black, I would say. In the future, I will drop a few pesos here one day and maybe on your Patreon thingy. Bro, you don't have to. It's okay, man. So here you go. Software. Software is Clip Studio Paint. This is the software, Clip Studio Paint. Constantinus, bro, you don't have to, man. Like, I understand. But I appreciate the sentiment, man. I really do appreciate all of you guys. We're gonna add dream lighting over here, so this is gonna be fun. Again, these are still roughs, man. Are you guys getting tired of the song? You see, this hand is not gonna be even shown, man. This hand is not even gonna be shown. You see my angle over here. It's not even gonna be shown, but you know, for the sake of like completion, we need to actually complete the drawing, right? We're gonna put secondary shadows, right? To heighten the mood over here. This one's gonna be completely dark. But there's gonna be rim lighting here. It's gonna be rim lighting there, right? And we forgot the tattoo, man. Yeah, shades. I don't know what's happening anymore, man. Constantinus is like giving us a lot of like things to think about, man. I love it though. I need to draw the you see, here's the thing, guys. I have a character model here, right? I have the tattoo over here. Copy, man, copy. Paste, bro. Where's that tattoo? Copy paste, man. Why would I suffer recreating something I've already done before? Tell me. Why would I make myself suffer recreating something I've already done before? That makes no sense to me, man. That makes the most sense to me, right? So I just want to make sure that it's the proper size. I capture the proper size and it's properly located, right? Then you just erase. This is what I did on the animation I did for Jake Paul. Like I I created the character design sheet, and then don't be racist, draw shade him white. Come on, man. Come on, man. Now we have to add let's turn this off. Area scaling is 1. Yeah, area scaling is 1. You set area scaling as 1 over here. Secondary shadows would be, this one is for this color over here. I use this purple for the secondary shadow. Oops. We need to secondary shadow is purple, so we need to do purple over here, and then we need to do the, yeah, I know Barrett is not, maybe these are the secondary shadows. And then the purple one are the ones for the skin. Over here, so that it's a lot more clear, right? No, it doesn't do anything. They're like, for me, it's just the way I draw. To be honest, man, there's nothing. It's just the way you draw, right? No reason at all why you should be doing that. Scribbles like impact frames, scribbles, yeah. Impact frames. I know what you mean. I've seen those animations for sure. Have like a hair here. use the rim light. We're just gonna have rim light over here, man. And again, this is just rough, man. This is just rough. So like, I would even do this for this thing. Again, we're just doing layouts, right? Yeah, the gaps for sure, bro. Like it has nothing to do with reasoning or whatever. It's just the way you draw. Like you don't have to overthink that. So all of the light is coming this way. You might even kind of like have something like more extensive right here. Right now it does seem that we're lacking in our shadow part. Yeah, so we're gonna add a feel for this character. The feel for that character, put some X on it. This is rough Genga, man. Rough Genga. Is there a brush angle tilt with the newer version of CSPX? I'm not sure, but I'm not entirely like. You can create the tilt based off your own setting on your pen tablet. Are the in-betweeners and cleanup artists are the same or different? It's the same. They're called Doga artists. For my version 1 of CSP, but I have to go through the gradual versions, I think. No, you don't have to go to the gradual versions. Just update everything and figure it out your own way. I figure out all the thing. Like the software has nothing to do with the skill that you're gonna develop, but it's very nice to have everything you have. If you have the means, obviously. If you have the means, then just upgrade it. Just upgrade it, man. Um, yeah. I think 3. I'm not at 4 yet, man. Yeah, this is similar to the one from uh this is very similar to that. Yeah, I'm getting tired, man. So this is just a breakdown. No, this is just the layout, man. This is just the layout. I have Pro like version 3 on my. I think this is not version 3. I think this is 3.5. Version 3.5 Constantinus. Not just 3. The bar thing is supposed to be 3.5 or 3.6. I'm really happy with this one. I'm really happy with this one. I'm tired though. Yeah. A discounted sale. Um, Try this. I don't know if I have the sale because I do have like what do you call this? I do have a uh like a promotion, I think. Just wanna make sure I have that somewhere here. Mhm. The sale is 60% one-time purchase for I'm an affiliate for Clip Studio Paint, right? So um let me just double check if I could give you the 60% off. But check it before you buy it. Click my link and then CJW. Yeah. Wait, CJW. Give me a second, man. Like, let me just check. Maybe I could help you out. I'm like really tired, man. So, get links. Still haven't figured it out, to be honest with you, this affiliate thing for Clip Studio Paint. So I really don't know if this is gonna work for you. But it seems to me, let me see my log into the blah 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 campaign links, product, advertiser, etc. Click, choose one symbol, and this will open up a new. Although should appear on the right side of the screen. Clip Studio Paint. On the left side, click search. Sidebar and click search. Enter Clip Studio Paint in the advertisers box. Add Clip Studio Paint in the advertisers box. Search. Okay, and then this is where choose one, blah blah blah, open with the symbol, let's say over here, and then click get count and click URL. Get code, click URL, copy. Okay, now let me know if this works so I could check and make sure that you guys can upgrade or something like that. I don't know. Let me check my screen right now. So see if that works. See if that thing works. And if you can get the version for 60% off. I think it's 60% off for version 4. But I don't know if you have to create your own, like a new file or something like that. I don't know, man. Like, just check it and then let me know, right? It's amazing for me that when I set the stream having monetization, I get half viewers from it. Half concurrent viewers. What is your experience by watching my thing right now? Like, do you guys get ads or something like that? I'm checking plan options, my blah 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 to upgrade. You'll save more by upgrading your license to version 2 than okay. Plan option disclaimer. Like, how about the link that I sent? Would that work? Let me save this one. Oh, the regular price. Sorry, dude. Yeah, sorry, dude. Anyway, guys, I'm tired. I'm so tired, man. Like, for the 4 perpetual, it cost you 260 for the perpetual upgrade. If you use my link, would you still get would that be still $260, or would that be 60% off? I want to know, because like that's why I'm not really, even though I'm an affiliate, I don't know if I have like um discount, you know? Like I don't know whether it works or not. I'm still new to being affiliate. I don't know affiliate marketing. I just know how to animate. Ah, I'm so tired, man. It doesn't show any discount. If you are not signed up in your account and you have to buy it from the sale passed, you think, okay, sorry about that, bro. Yeah, I don't know how this works, man. Anyway, again, I'm gonna sleep because I have work tomorrow. So, good night, guys. Um, yeah, yeah. Good night, and thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys around, and thank you, man. See you next stream, probably Monday next week or Sunday. We'll see. I don't know how busy I am, but I'm not even sure if I have a Friday video, but I'm gonna try to edit something for tomorrow. Um, but yeah, man. Peace out, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for those who are supporting the channel and all that stuff. I appreciate you all. Peace out. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, everyone.